Hello everybody and welcome back to Farm Sim 17. I am Farmer Red, Irish Red, Gaming, whatever you want to call me during this series. We are back. It's been a long time since we've been in the Farm Sim. If we take a look around, we still have a little bit of snow still left on the ground from where we tried to do some plowing over the winter. It is about the 5th day of spring right now or so. And I'm trying to figure out exactly where we left off. If I remember correctly, if we take a look at our map, yeah, we harvested, I believe it was wheat out of 11 there. We planted canola up in 8, which we also did collect. And down here in 12, we planted some barley to grow over the winter. It is still actually growing. A little bit of a lag spike there. That's to be expected, though. So yeah, our barley is still growing. I don't think we're going to touch field 12 here. We're just going to let it grow throughout the spring and summer and see if we can't maybe get an early harvest out of this. Because as you can see, you know, it's already planted. It still says that it can be planted, but the temperature is not high enough. Remember, we planted it back here like days 7, 8, 9, something like that of fall after we harvested. And as we can see, we did not actually harvest it again until about the 9th day of summer. So we'll let it grow and we will see what happens, you know, when we get down here to the 9th day of summer. But we can't plant anything currently. The temperatures are way too low. However, we can get plowing and cultivating and getting ready for that spring plant. As we remember, we have grass here in 10. That'll come in handy for when we start getting animals and whatnot. And then, of course, up here, we have our dead fields. So let's go ahead and we will just come over here to one of our vehicles, get another lag spike as everything tries to load in. We're going to take the big guy out here again today, the John Deere 9RT series. Let's go ahead and unhook that cultivator, start her up, and we'll come over and we will grab our planter cultivator combo, because, or not planter, wow, our plow cultivator combo. Come on, hook up. Because none of these fields have been plowed, and because we are still running the seasons mod at this point in time, if we don't plow the fields every once in a while, I think it's every 3 harvests or so, we will lose our productivity on that field. So we're just going to go ahead and drag this thing all the way over here. We'll start up in 8 because 8 will take the longest of the fields that we own. And we still have some, you know, snow here on the ground that'll slowly get cleared up. It's about 41 degrees today. Looking for a high of about 55 tomorrow. That'll be nice, and 60 on Saturday. So hopefully this snow will start melting away as the days go on, and you know, it starts getting warmer up. The ground still sitting right about 36 degrees Fahrenheit, which is still rather cold. It's not quite freezing, but you know, it's still cold enough to keep the snow on the ground. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and we will get up here to field number 8 as quick as we can here. Trying to remember our way around this map. Again, it's been quite some time since we've hopped into the farm sim here and done some farming. We still don't quite have enough money as of yet to buy any of these larger fields like 9 here to our right, or I believe it's 7 over there to our left. Let's take a look real quick since we are right here and see just how much it is going to cost. And as you can see, guys, right here, it's actually going to cost $1.66 million. We're only currently sitting at 1.3, so we still have to do a little bit. I mean, if we wanted to take out a loan, we could probably buy it. But that's okay. We'll go one more season here with what we have and see what we can do to get that, you know, money more legitly rather than taking out a loan. Well, there's our horn. That's always good to know. That's our autopilot. Well, I'm not exactly sure. Looks like I'm gonna have to go through and reset up the buttons so that, you know, we can fold and unfold. If I remember correctly, Control O, yep, will open up our GPS, and Control period will open up our GPS map. Or, not map, but our, yeah, control panel. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try and get this thing set up here so that we can get as much of this field on the GPS as possible. So let's go ahead and try and get this around to a perfect 90. And a little bit more. There we go, 90. We'll hold control so that we can work this thing. And we are going to try and remember how this thing works. Holy cow, like I said, it has been a while since we have done this. So we are going to set the work width to auto. We are going to set a new direction. There we go. And the work width doesn't look too bad. If I remember correctly, this implement, let's take a look real quick. It is a, is it a cultivator or is it an actual plow? I don't remember what it classifies this as. Let's go ahead and take a look at plows real quick, because it might be classified as a plow. And where are they? Plow, plow, plow. Alright, there they are, right above. I'm blind today. So there we go. Oh yeah, that's the one we have. It is considered a plow. That's the one we are hooked up to, I do believe. We'll check the others out, because I don't think I own any other plow technology or anything like that. No, I do not. Perfect, so that is the one that we are currently hooked up to, the 2623 VT Flex Disc. We've got one. It can plow the fields, create new fields. That's great. We don't want to do any of that. We just want to set this up, except, you know, we looked right at it, but we did not take a look at the working width. There we go. It's a 15-meter work width. Okay, we can deal with that. So right now it's set to 15.3. We're going to change the work width. We're going to set it down to about 14. So that way there's a little bit of an overlap. And the offset is going to be, we're going to change the offset. We're going to make sure that everything is lined up as perfectly as possible. There we go, that looks good. So let's go ahead and we are going to drop our plow. There we go, and we're going to give this thing a little bit of a headlands here. So I hope everybody has had a good school season and a good, well, this thing is not cultivating, it is just plowing. Isn't this interesting? Well, this is not what we wanted to see. Let's take a look here at plows, because we want one that's going to plow and cultivate at the same time. And we might have to actually grab our cultivator to do that. Well, this is not good. So, tell you what, guys, I will run this back to the shop. I will grab the other one real quick and come back out here and see what we can do to you know, get the correct equipment out here, one that's actually going to plow and cultivate at the same time. I'll be right back, guys. Well, shoot, guys, looks like we don't have anything that will plow and cultivate at the same time. We've just got a plow and we've got a cultivator. So, yeah, this is not what we want by any stretch of the imagination. We want to be able to hopefully plow and cultivate at the same time. We may not be able to do that. We might have to rely on something that'll, you know, cultivate and plant at the same time, which I think our planter will do that. So let's go ahead and stop here. We will pull this up and fold it up because we won't need this right now. Let's take a look at our planter real quick. Our sewing machine, there we go. And I know we got this big old Amazon right here, planter. I want to say that this thing cultivates and seeds at the same time. I know this one will. Let's see here. No previous cultivating or plowing necessary. So yeah, this one here will. I think this is set off of this one here. But I'm not sure. We'll have to test it out, actually. So, how are we going to do this? Well, that is an excellent question. I guess what we're just going to have to do is go back, get the plow, and plow all of this up, because it is at least registering that we are plowing these, I do believe. Yeah, there we go. If we zoom in just a bit here. Yeah, if we turn that on, well, it should have been plowed. It might not be, yeah, see, it's saying that it was plowed there, but then we've gone over the plow with the cultivation. So yeah, we need to plow this field, we need to cultivate it, we need to do everything to it. So again, I will run back to the farm, grab the correct piece of equipment, and I will meet you guys back out here on the field. Alrighty guys, well, I was just taking a look in the shop here, just to take a look to see if maybe there was something that will do both. And in fact, I actually think I might have found it. I might have found this one here, the 50-foot disc. We might have bought the wrong one initially. So I just purchased this one. Let's grab this real quick. We will head back out to the field area, and we will see if this will do the plowing and the cultivating at the same time. This one looks like it will because it has the rollers on the back, and usually that's what it needs to have in order to do both at the same time, is have the rollers on the back. So we will hook up to this. Now we can also cheese the system here a little bit, because this thing also should have a back hitch on it. So I'm going to see if I can maybe just kind of cheese the system just a little bit here, and just in case this thing doesn't work, I can haul both the pieces of equipment out to the field so that we can at least plow or cultivate at the same time. So let me go ahead and try and back this beast up here and get it lined up with that cultivator, because if this thing only plows, well, that's fine. You know, at least we'll have the plowing done, and we'll have the cultivator out there as well. So let's see if we can't just kind of get back up here and hook up to this, maybe. I don't know if it's going to work, because I think this actually has a 3-point hitch on it, and this looks like a standard hitch. But we will take a look here. Yeah, no, we can't. Well, dang it. That kind of stinks. So alright guys, I will make the trip back out there to the field, and we will see what happens here with this piece of equipment, and hopefully it'll do both, you know, the cultivating and the plowing at the same time like we originally wanted to do. So stick around, guys. I'll be back in a moment. Alright, guys, we are back out here at the field now. Just lowered it down. Let's see if this will plow in the front and cultivate in the back. There's the plow texture. Hey, there's the cultivation texture. That is exactly what we wanted to see. So let's go ahead and raise this thing back up, and we will get started on taking care of this field, because first off we're going to want to make a headlands around it. So there we go. Let's lower it back down. Let's give this thing a decent headlands here. Now this thing has a 15 meter or 50 foot work radius on it, or work width on it. So we should be okay with the GPS setup the way that it currently is. Because as we can see, you know, we're pretty much going over the same spot that we just went over, which is fine. It's not going to hurt anything. But yeah, with this, at least we are, like I said, we're plowing and then immediately cultivating afterwards, which, like I said before, you know, that's exactly what we want to do. This is going to count as 2 fertilization, if I remember correctly. So this way we can, you know, not have to do as much work. So let's go ahead and we'll go around this field once or twice here, and then we'll start going back and forth on the lines. But yeah, anyway, guys, like I was saying, I hope you had a great Easter weekend this past weekend. It has been quite some time since we've been in Farm Sim. Last time we were in Farm Sim, we were actually on a server helping the guys out. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that server. Last I knew, they were having some issues with it. So it was currently, you know, not up. So, you know, I figure, what the hey, we will hop in and work on, you know, our personal farm. I've been kind of missing it a bit. The problem with these farm sim games is, you know, I'm not gonna say it's real life, but it definitely takes a lot longer than, you know, some of the other episodes to do, because, you know, this field here is probably gonna take me a good 45 minutes to an hour to do, even with this large implement on the back. And so you have to set out a large chunk of time to do anything like this, and then it's heavy on the editing side. But that's okay, because like I said, I really wanted to get back in and start playing this again and doing some stuff with the farm sim, you know, work on getting cows and pigs, and we've already got chicken. So yeah, here we are, guys. And also, it's a little bit more relaxing. It's less of a mentally demanding game compared to, say, you know, the LSPDFR series. That is definitely high intensity almost all of the time, because you got all of the idiots doing, you know, all of their random stuff that is, you know, just a royal pain in the rear sometimes. And then you've got Minecraft, where, you know, that's really mentally demanding as well. Just trying to figure, problem solving is what it is, you know, trying to figure out the best way to do things and figure out how to, you know, get things to work when they aren't working like they should be. So whereas this is just about as simple as it gets, you know, barring, you know, you have the correct equipment to do what you want to do. But for the most part, it's just get in, sit back, relax, and do your thing. So that is what we are doing right here. We are just getting in, relaxing, and doing our thing. So there we go. Got a couple of decent headlands on this thing now. So what I will do, guys, is I will probably finish up this round and start the lines, and I will talk to you guys here in a few moments, and then we will head over towards field 11 after we get this field finished up and work on getting that all set up. So stick around, guys, we'll be back in a minute. Alright, guys, well, we are just finishing up the last line here on field 8. We'll have to go around and do a little bit of cleanup. That's one thing that I forgot about having this dual setup here. While it's nice because it cuts down on the work quite a bit because you can plow and cultivate at the same time, but for whatever reason, the way this thing is set up, the plow width is identical to the cultivation width, which is a bit of a pain because you have to go actually to the end of the field in order for everything to count. So I've been doing this kind of non-legitly, coming down here, crossing over the tracks, turning around, and coming back, and then going over into the other field, in order to get this cultivator plow combo to work properly. So that is definitely not ideal, and I believe, if I remember correctly now, thinking back, this is probably the reason why I did not do this setup initially. And of course that sign is going to get in our way, so let's go ahead and back up just a little bit here, and we will drop it back down just to get around this sign and make a nice sweeping motion over here, just so that we don't ruin any of our lines over there. There we go, that should straighten it back out, and everything should still be getting cultivated back here in the back. There we go, just like that. This way we can make sure that the full field has been plowed and cultivated, and that we are not missing anything. But yeah, it's really kind of annoying because if you make a sharp turn in any direction, the plow will plow the inside of the turn. However, the cultivator will not come around and then cultivate it because it will be outside of the area. So there we go. Let's go ahead and raise up here. We'll come down here to the end of the field real quick, and I will show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I decided to go north and south instead of east and west, and go into the field 9 down here and across the tracks, because of stuff like this. As you can see, right there, that should have been caught by the cultivator. However, it was not, and we do not have enough room at the end of our field down here with these trees and whatnot to go off the field and make sure that the cultivator gets to the edge of the field so that everything gets plowed and cultivated. So I think for the next time, guys, we'll finish up using this plow cultivator combo. Also, we can't just go over this and call it good, because the front of the equipment will be plowed, but the cultivator won't go over it and cultivate it. So we will leave just a line of plowed land there instead of plowed and then cultivated. So yeah, we will finish out this session with this implement here, but we will then go back to the old setup, which will take double the time, yes, but I'd rather do it right rather than have to come back and go over all of this stuff again, because it will not actually do everything that we want it to do properly. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all of this in one sweep here. I might be able to. There we go, let's lay it down nice and easy on the turns. Yeah, looks like we got everything back there. So we will just kind of set this up at a course 180 or as close to as possible. Finish out this line here, fold her up and head over to field 11 and get that plowed up real quick. Again, we're getting everything set up as quickly as we can for planting, which should be just in a couple of days if these temperatures hold out. So there we go, edge of the field, and let's go ahead and fold this thing up. And we can go ahead and start heading down here to field 11. Now the nice thing is though, is the fact that, you know, we were already running north and south, which is the way that field 11 primarily runs, is north and south. So we don't have too much to worry about in the way of setup for field 11. What we gotta do is get over there and everything should line up fairly decent. But anyway guys, I will head over there. It's going to take me a few moments to get there. You don't need to sit here and watch me just drive over there to the field. So I will be back in just a few moments here. And we will get set up for plowing field 11. Alrighty guys, we're just pulling up to field 11 right now. And actually, you know what? Everything looks fairly decent. No, this line is just a little bit off, so we're gonna have to kind of manually drive it ourselves just to get it started, and then we can just start doing the lines. Again, I'm not gonna worry about the headlands and everything right now because, like I said before, you know, we're just gonna have to go over everything again if we do that, and that really becomes kind of a pain in the rear to do that. So why do it multiple times if we can just, you know, do it once? You know, it's not as legit, but that's alright. We will just get this thing lowered down here and we will get underway. There we go. And away we go. So yeah, we'll try and keep this thing on a 0.0 heading. Not that it's going to matter too much because we have enough overlap over there on the left-hand side that we will go ahead and fire up our GPS to come back and take care of this field. But yeah, I kind of needed something like this to relax and not think about a whole heck of a lot. Had a lot going on lately in my life. My mother ended up having back surgery here about 2 months ago or so. She has a condition called spinal stenosis. It's basically a degenerative disease and hereditary disease where your spine starts growing into your spinal column. Therefore, it effectively starts chopping your spinal cord in half. She had a surgery similar to this about 1.5 years, 2 years ago now, in her neck. They actually broke her neck in 3 separate spots to go in and clean up the damage from this spinal stenosis disease. And they put in a couple of spacers in her neck. Everything went well. She recovered very quickly and she's doing great with her neck. However, with her back, apparently it was a whole heck of a lot worse than her neck actually was. So therefore, you know, she's moved in with us for a while, Tyler and I, that is, while she recuperates, because my stepdad still has to go to work and everything like that, and she pretty much needs a live-in caretaker. And that's pretty much what I've been, while still putting out the videos for you guys, for the past 2 months, as a live-in caretaker for my mom. And it's been fairly stressful and fairly, you know, just one of those, you gotta give props to those people that can do this on a daily basis. Just non-stop. This is their job. This is what they do. I I can't say enough about those people, especially the good ones. I know there's plenty of them out there that they do it, they're just in it for the money because, sure, I'm sure the money is fairly decent, but do they really actually care about the people that they are supposed to be caring for? There's a difference. My mom was saying, well, you should think about doing this. And I'm like, I can't. I'm not that type of person. It's one thing to do it for a family member, a loved one. It's different doing it for a random stranger, if you will, and doing it as a career path just because it takes so much out of you. There for a while, I was literally having to help her do everything, helping her in and out of her chair, helping her in and out of the restroom. Luckily, my stepdad, comes over just about every night, and, he helps her with some of the other cleansing issues, like giving her a shower and, sponge baths and stuff like that. She actually just had her first shower here a couple of weeks ago, and she should have had it about 2 weeks after the surgery, if not sooner. But unfortunately, her incisions got infected with a staph infection, and so we've been dealing with that. Now her legs are swelling up something fierce, which is slowing her recovery process because she can't just get up and down like she wants to start moving around and walking and stuff like that. So for whatever reason, this back surgery is not going as well as her neck surgery went, and they actually did a little bit less with her back surgery than what they did with her neck surgery, which is the really odd part. It is what it is. We're taking it day by day. She has a couple more doctor's appointments coming up to double check her infection, make sure that it is healing up like it should be, and hopefully we can start getting her into physical therapy and get her back home sooner rather than later, just so that she can start getting even better than what she currently is. We're gonna hit that tree, aren't we? Yes, we are. So yeah, that's really what's been going on in my life lately, guys, and that's why, if some videos it seems like I'm kind of out of it or exceptionally tired. Well, I am. Like I said, it takes an absolute ton out of you, to wait on somebody pretty much hand and foot every day for every little need that they need when they need it, day or night. It doesn't matter. I've gone running to the other side of the house to help her out in the middle of the night because she's in so much pain because she's getting these back spasms and nerve spasms in her buttocks area and her lower back area that just cause her agonizingly large amounts of pain. And it's not so much the incision that's hurting or the actual hardware that they put into her back that's hurting. All of that is fine, but it's the swelling of her legs that is causing her a large amount of pain, and these random spasms that she's having. And unfortunately, nerves are one of the slowest growing things in the human body. The specialist told us it's roughly about 1 millimeter a year or some crap like that. Yeah, it's a ridiculously small amount of growth per year for these nerves to grow. But we're staying optimistic. We're hoping that she will continue to get better. And everybody who has known about this and supported me, thank you guys so very much. I can't thank you enough for sticking by me and giving me support, moral support that I needed at times, with everything that's been going on. So I will go ahead and work on finishing up this line, these few lines that we have left here on this field. And then we will start getting the equipment taken care of and talk about what we're going to do from here. So anyway, guys, thanks for listening to me ramble for a little bit. I'll be back here in a moment. Alrighty, guys, well, we're coming up to the end of the line here on the last line of field 11. We've got everything plowed and cultivated on this field now. So we will just kind of come up here and come off the edge of the field, making sure that we've got everything covered, and wrap her up. So there we go, right up here to the end of the field. And there we go. We are all set to start our fertilization process. Let's go ahead and start folding this equipment up here. And we will start heading back towards the barn to put everything away. We don't need our GPS on anymore, or get rid of those lines as everything comes up nice and neat. So yeah, doing it that way, it was not too bad. I still didn't like the fact that, you know, we have to keep going off the edge of the field. We can't put it down any headlands or anything like that to actually, you know, have room to do stuff. And we're going down the wrong way. That's okay, we're the only ones here. So yeah, I don't know if I will be keeping this plow or not. Probably not, and that way, you know, we just go around, we plow, get our headlands down. Oh, hard turn there, Red. And then we go around and plow everything, follow that up with the actual cultivator. Yeah, I know it takes a little bit longer. It's gonna mean more work to do, and we can't all do it in one fell swoop like we can with this setup here. But at the same time, at least we can do it how we want to do it. So for right now, I'm just going to park this plow here with the rest of the equipment that I need to figure out what to do with, because it is just all over the place. As you can see, I was trying various ways to plow the actual snow, but it did not work out like I had anticipated. And I'm not so sure if that was the smart thing to do anyway, because we still have all that snow right over there that's piled up, and I don't know if that will eventually just go away on its own. That's what I'm hoping, is that it will slowly actually melt and go away on its own, but I don't know. So let's go ahead and get this thing lined up here. Because we won't be needing this tractor anymore for a little while. So there we go, and we'll go ahead and shut her down. And if we take a look at our fields real quick, we will see that they have been plowed and cultivated. Well, that's actually not going to show plowed because we cultivated them. But there we go, they've been cultivated. Again, we did 8 and 11. 10 is our grass field. That one's fine. It doesn't need anything. 12, we have that barley growing in. But if we come over here to the soil composition, you know, nothing says that needs to be plowed. But if we take a look at the fertilization, it is going to not tell us anything, which is odd because it should be registering that field 11 and field 8 have actually been fertilized, but it is not saying that they have been fertilized. We need to get a couple more fertilizations down here on 12 before everything gets grown. 10 is fine, that's our grass. So yeah, we'll have to come up with something for 11 and 8, because I'm not sure why it's not saying that it did not get fertilized, because when you plow, that should count as one fertilization. When you plant, as long as you use a planter that spreads fertilizer, that should count as a fertilization. And then of course you go through with either a sprayer or a solid fertilizer spreader and put down the last fertilization, and that way you get the maximum yield. But it is what it is. For now, we are just going to see and hope that this snow here will actually melt down and it's not going to stick around here on the sides of our roads and whatnot. That would not be cool. But anyway, guys, next time we'll, work on getting this seeder up and running and definitely get our sprayer here. I toyed around with a different type of spreader. If we come in here and take a look real quick, I toyed around with something else, and I might actually switch it up from that liquid spreader to wherever, there it is. If we come in here, this right here, the John Deere DN345, it deals regular solid fertilizer, and for whatever reason it seems that this fertilizer actually does a better job than the actual sprayer. So we will have to think about that and see where we want to go with that. That may be the way we go, because I just feel like you get more mileage out of the fertilizer with that actual solid fertilizer spreader than you do with, one of these sprayer setups like this John Deere, which we currently have. It's nice and all, but at the same time, like I said, I just don't feel that it spreads as evenly and as well as it should. Oh yeah, we got all sorts of snow down here that I tried to plow, and yeah, this snow has got to go. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked the episode, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It helps me and the channel out immensely. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon and turn on your notifications. That way you guys can be notified of the newest episodes that come out, whether it be Farm Sim, Minecraft, or LSPDFR. I'm still waiting to hear a little bit more about what you guys want to see for an LSPDFR 100th episode video. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for all the love and support and listening to me ramble for all this time. And you don't forget, you can also check me out on social media, facebook.com/IrishRedGaming. You can send me a message there, or you can send me a tweet at IrishRedGaming on Twitter. So anyway, guys, I've said it before and I'm going to keep saying it. Thank you so very much for all of the support and helping me through this journey, and especially these past few months. It's been really kind of rough, and all of you guys' love and support has been absolutely amazing. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, and as always, I will definitely talk to you in the next video. See ya.